Yes, lads, we are back, and we are back with season number 4. After an unbelievable end to the last season by winning the FA Cup, we are back for another season with Leeds United. And this time around, we're going to have European football. That's right, we should be in the Europa League this season. And the board are giving me a whopping 95 million in order to make this team European football ready. But we could see that budget increase massively with some of the players that might leave the club this year, which does bring me to something pretty sad that's happened in the off-season. And that sad news is that after sitting down with Wilfred Gnonto, he's decided that he would like to leave the club with my blessing. And after he was super close to leaving us in the January transfer window and going to Liverpool, the amount of effort he's still put in after that, I think it's only right that we step out of the way and let Wilfred Gnonto go to a bigger team. But he's probably not the only problem we're going to have. I have committed to the idea that free players can leave this season as long as the bids come from massive teams. And we've already known that Wilfred Gnonto is most likely going to be leaving the club. I need to do my best to try and keep hold of some of these players because there's going to be some dramatic changes to the squad if some of them leave. But don't worry, lads, I've filled the transfer list with all of your suggestions and about another 100 players, so we're gonna have plenty of options for bringing new players into the team. But with all that said, it's time for us to start building for European football and taking Leeds to the next level here in season number 4. Strap yourselves in, get yourselves a beverage. I look forward to this one. I hope you guys do as well. Smash that like button down below and let's get into this one. So I think the first thing we need to do right now as we jump in is just go through the team. We're going to assess the players, see who will be leaving the club. We know some already that we've decided to move on, but I'm going to assess positions that we need to look to improve as well, and let's just get out some of the dead wood also and get some of the youngsters back out on loan. So after going through the squad, this is where we stand. We knew about Christopher, we knew about Willie, but I've decided to make some tough decisions here. Lewis Bate gets put on the transfer list. Sonny Perkins gets put on the transfer list. Gaby also put on the transfer list. These are players that I would have loved to have got time to use, but I think we needed more time in the championship in order for these players to really get the game time. Joseph's going to be the man that goes out on loan. I decided between him and Van Duven. Van Duven right now is balling out a little bit more. I think Joseph needs a little bit more time. Van Duven, I feel like, should be in the rotation this year up top. So that's the decision I've made. And then a few loans for the youngsters, as you'd expect. We get them out. If they're ever approaching to a point where they're going to be good enough for the first team, I will let you know. And I did mention it there at the start, but I really can't explain to you like how many players are on this list. I've genuinely gone out. I've scouted so many players. There are so many on the list. And we're going to have so many options. I need to go and re-scout some of the players that we already had on the list, but we're going to be blessed in terms of where we need to improve in the squad. I think instantly when I look at the team, we already knew this. We're going to need a new centre-back, maybe even two, because I'm starting to contemplate that we might have a second formation that involves 3 centre-backs. I've not fully decided on it yet, but kind of let me know what you think. But I'm thinking like 3 centre-backs could work in some way, but we know we definitely need one because Christopher will go, and I'm potentially letting Cresswell go, but I haven't listed him yet. Now, another position where we could potentially get better, and that is, in my head, only world-class better, is in CDM. We could let Kamara go, although I'm happy to have him around for one more season. And we have the youngster Jovanovic coming into the team, so he could play a little bit of football this season, but our main players are Archie Gray, Oliver Skip, and Calvin Phillips. We could go for someone who is a little bit more of a star to take us to the next level, but I'm undecided at CDM right now. I know I need a winger, if not 2, to be honest with you, because Jadon Anthony left the club, or someone who can play all across the front 3 with them being able to play cam left and right would probably be best for me. But with Gnonto going, I'm going to need that backup. We are still super blessed that we've got Trezor in the team and we've got Fatawu, so it's not like the end of the world, but the backup to both of those players right now is Elias Chair. So we have European football. That kind of shows you where we're at. We're going to have to spend some money to improve the wingers on this team. And then, as I mentioned before, 21-year-old Van Duven is going to get given some opportunities this year. He's an exciting prospect, and I want him in the team. We still have Ekitike, we still have Pirro. Both of them had great goal returns last season, but I can't guarantee the future of Joel Pirro because he's going to be wanted by some of the biggest teams in the world, considering what he scored last year. So that's just where my head is right now. We're set at cam unless we lose Jorginho. I toyed with it. I thought about it. Does Gelhardt stay? Does he go? I can't help it. I just love this man. He does magical things. Every time I think, yeah, we'll get rid of him, he doesn't have the technical ability, he scores a goal. So, and important goals as well. He doesn't just score a goal, he scores the important ones. So for now, Joe Gelhardt stays, and we've got Jonathan Greaves as the backup, the 18-year-old. I'm tempted to loan him out, though. I don't know. I'm undecided. But we are only on day 1 of this window. So let's start fast forwarding. Let's start seeing what bids come in. Let's see what's going to happen with our player. So the first bid we're going to get in is Arsenal coming in for Christopher. I'm going to negotiate this. I want some more money off you, Arsenal. I know at one point I wanted 30 million, but now I will take 25. He's a year less on the contract. He wants to leave the club. If I could get 25 million for him, I think that'll that'll be a decent deal. And there we go. We're going to get him. He was a little bit slow, but he was a good passer. And I liked him, but he is moody. So good luck, Arsenal, because Arteta, trust me, mate, you're going to struggle to keep him happy. We're going to get our first bid in for Willy Gnonto. It's Leipzig. That's not where I see his future going, so I'm going to reject that one. They are in the Champions League, so, you know, the option would have been there. And then we got Roma coming in for Joe Rodon. Absolutely not. The prospect in any universe where we lose two of our main centre-backs in this window, they don't exist. Does mean Pascal is safe. Now, we've got Monaco coming in for Gnonto. Again, not really the team I see him going to, unless Monaco have had some wildness happen. I'm going to reject it. In an ideal world, Liverpool will come in for him. That's what I would really like, considering he nearly went there in January. But the move for Christopher has been done. That's 25 million back in our pockets. We're going to get an A for this, and the controller's going to go absolute wild. If you ask for it, you shall receive it. Wilfred Gnonto gets a bid of 76.2 million from Liverpool. This is a club record. Of course it is. This is the one we're going to accept. This is where he nearly went. Now, don't get me wrong, lads. I know here, if I was min-maxing, it says 95.7 million, but I am sorry, Wilfred Gnonto is not worth 95.7 million. 76 million, a lot of money here for Leeds. So I'm going to accept this bid from Liverpool. Now I've accepted it, I do feel pretty sad though. Like, Wilfred has been a absolute beast. He grows so well in this game. Like, I genuinely think you could get him up to 90. I accept one for Sonny to America, and then we've got a swap deal for Jorginho. It's Mudryk. They would give us Mudryk. Mudryk would never come here, and let's be honest, Mudryk is on an absolute £1 billion a week. So this is not an acceptable deal that we would even entertain, but it's just insane that they're like, yeah, we'll chuck Mudryk your way after what we paid for him. But Georgie's going to stay for now. I'm definitely rejecting that one. Obviously, we've seen a centre-back leave. We knew we needed to do centre-back business, so I think that's going to be the first transfer I do. And I have ummed and ahed about it, but I do think that William Pacho from Hoffenheim would be good. I don't even know if I'm saying his last name right. I think it's Pacho. I don't know. I'm going to say Pacho for now, but he looks extremely good. Yeah, I'd like him to have a little bit more passing, but this guy is a brick wall and he's quick. He's extremely quick. Hoffenheim's definitely a club we could negotiate with as well. It's probably going to cost me maybe around 45 million, and I'll be happy to pay that. I think he's an upgrade at centre-back as well, lads. Like, this is genuinely an upgrade at centre-back. I might even just go in at 45 because I just think that's a fair fee for him. When you look at how good he is, I think 45 is a fair fee. See, they were going to go up anyway. Can I change this just a little bit? I just want the 200. I don't know if it's a level of OCD, but 47 million just in my head sounds a lot better. So 47 million. We're spending money this season because we're trying to be Europe ready, right, boys? And we're going to bring in so much money from the Gnonto deal and potential other deals. This is a little bit of a shake-up year for Leeds United. And this is a big name signing. Oh my God. So we're going 4 years. Obviously, crucial is what you'd expect from him. He's going to be the best centre-back at the club. But look at this, man. Look at this man. Only wanting 37. Dude, I pay people who are way worse than this guy more money. Except, thank you, William. Me and you, we're going to get on very, very well, pal. Going to wear the number 4 as well. He could keep it. I like it. He looks good in a Leeds kit, lads, honestly. He's going to slot straight into the starting 11, and I know, yes, he's left-footed, so he plays the same side as Pascal, but Pascal actually has 4-star weak foot. So Pascal now will be the right centre-back, and Pacho will be the left centre-back, and then we've still got Rodon to swap in. Honestly, it's looking good to start the season. This is by far the saddest I have been at a transfer leaving the club, but the storyline just made sense, you know, because of the Liverpool bid in the January window. But yeah, man, this is the saddest I've been. Somerville, I loved. I enjoyed him. But you only got 1 season with him, right? Gnonto has grown up. You remember when this man couldn't hit a barn door? We nearly sacked him out of the club when he made that miss against Manchester United. And then he just came on last year, man. He was just so good. I am gutted, but honestly, I love the storyline. It makes sense. Like, Liverpool wanted him. They've come back for him with such a huge bid. Big Willie's going to have a great time at Liverpool. I'm telling you that. He's not that far. He could get the train up to Leeds whenever he wants and come and see us. I don't know why we're getting a D. I thought that was an unbelievable deal. Never worth 100 million. I'm sorry, Gnonto, but never worth 100 million. We're going to see Mateo Joseph go out on loan as well to Getafe for a season. I think that's a good club for him to go to. He needs to get better in order to play for my team. We also see Gaby and Perkins leave as well, so we're kind of getting rid of some of the dead work. Okay, so Manchester City are coming in for Leif Davis. This is a bit of a surprise, not expected, but you guys aren't so high on Leaf anyway, and at one point you wanted me to sell him. This is a massive club. This could go down as one of our 3 big players as well. Like, Leif Davis is a starter, so I'm just going to count at any of the starters, 81 overall. Let's negotiate, though. I don't believe that that's a reasonable fee. I would be happy to get a new left back in replacement of Leif Davis. I think he's been good for the club, but we could get someone who is a higher level. This has to be the right deal. And I'm going to try and fleece them for like 32 million. I mean, 32 million would be acceptable. 30.6. Yeah, you know, I'm going to accept that. I think it'd be a good move for Davis. He'd definitely be clambering to go to Manchester City and win all those trophies with all the money that they're going to pay him. So yeah, I'm going to be accepting of that. This is what happens when you're a club that is technically a smaller size. Happens to a lot of teams and it kind of sucks, right? You have a really good year, you do really, really well, and then teams come and try and pick off all your players. That's kind of what's happened to us. The Nanto one obviously is a storyline that I've made, but this is genuinely what I expected last season. We're now getting it this year. And now that it's happening, it's definitely really helping the bank balance. 144 million in the bank. We have to start looking at left back. Now, it's definitely one of the least scouted positions that I've done. I will say that, but there is already one guy here who I've got my eye on. It's Fran Garcia. He's a beast. If you don't think that this is a major improvement on Leif Davis as a starter, I don't know what to tell you. I did want Kirkes, but obviously he went to Chelsea. I don't think he'll be getting game time, but I think it's pretty recent. I wanted Sosa as well, but I don't think that's a deal we're going to get done. Merlin was a good one that you guys suggested in the past. Robinson, another one. But I think if I'm trying to take a step up in quality, and you look at where Bournemouth finished, they only just survived last year. Fran Garcia is a good idea for me to sign, right? So, we're going to do it. Oh, we're not going to do it, and all that rhyming was for absolutely nothing. The player is not for sale as the team doesn't have enough depth in this position. Somebody sell Bournemouth for left back. I need to check this every time, lads. This is about the fourth or fifth. You guys are probably laughing. This is about a fourth or fifth time I've done this. That really changes my entire mindset now on what we're going to do. I mean, Merlin would still be great at 24 and improve. In my brain, I want an improvement on what we have. And it didn't actually take me long to find somebody else. He's right next to Fran Garcia. You're lost, mate. Well, it's Bournemouth's fault. But I like Fabinho Parisi. He looks very good. Still at Fiorentina. I don't think he's as good as Fran Garcia, but he's definitely more well-rounded, and he's going to be the guy we go for at left back. I've done it twice, lads. I've done it twice. I'm going back on the hunt for a left back because no, I am not paying 70.3 million for Parisi, and they're not willing to sell him otherwise. People say that transfer negotiations are easy in FC. Right, so I've got some players being scouted because I didn't have anybody else ready in the locker after that second failing of Parisi. But as we see, Leif Davis does accept the offer to Manchester City. Of course, what you would expect. And we are pending. We are pending a new left back. Never actually looked at the objectives this year, so let's look at them. Brand exposure again is the only one that is... Oh, my God. Sign free players born in Asia. Of course. The game just loves to... I cannot wait. This is the only thing about this save, right? I genuinely can't wait until we get done with it so we're on PC and I can turn all this off. We're going to create our own objectives that you guys decide as well and we vote on. Because these are just trash and ass. Free players born in Asia. Leeds United. Name me the last Asian player that played for Leeds United. I can't even think. There will be someone in there. I'm sure there is. But name me. I can't think of any. So I'm gonna cheese the hell out of this one. But that, again, is infuriating. Get 10 games with at least one goal scored. We had that last year. We smashed it. We'll smash it again. And then youth development is important. I'm going to send the youth scouts out again this time around. I didn't last year, but I think we'll start beefing the academy again this year. Man, the realism mod and just the whole thing. I can't wait. This sim's so different as well. It's going to be like we're in heaven. We're having the best times of our life once we move to PC. Now, I should mention this as well. This guy was recommended, and I'm still undecided if we need another centre back. So keep your eyes peeled. Ricardo Calafori could be someone we go in for if there's room in the budget. There's a few players that I'm looking at that are kind of there if we have room in the budget. If we don't, obviously we won't sign them. But this is one of them. I think he'd be a great backup, and he suits the way we want to play. Well, Man City are out here trying to cause me so much trouble, but this is actually one of those bids that I could turn down. This is a laugh in the face, considering how good Fatawu was. No chance. I forgot as well, we're in the Community Shield, obviously, because we won the FA Cup. So we take on Arsenal to start off our season in the Community Shield. Maybe a cheeky trophy to start our year off. Now, this is one that I've thought about a lot. I thought about it throughout last season, and we nearly went for him and decided against it. But I need at least 2 wingers, I think, in this window. And this is going to be the first one we put a bid in for. Samuel Eli Jr., 22, from England. And you have to remember that they've got Chiesa and such other players as well as Juve. So this is a deal I think that is realistically viable. He's probably not playing and getting the game time. I'm going to go for 40 million and just hope that they accept it, and they do. So 40 million for Illing Jr. This is a really good deal. As you can see, we've got like 134 million in the bank. We've got a lot to do with wages as well. If he'll take important, I don't want him to take crucial, which he should do. He's not going to be the best in that position. 4 years. He's going to get a lot of game time. I need at least 4 really good wingers at this point for rotation. Oh, he's on a hefty wage. So I'm going to have to go in at a hefty wage. Let's just see if he'll take the 80k. He will do. That's good news. And that does make him the second signing of the season. If you think he should have a different number, let me know, guys. I'm more than happy to negotiate with you lads what numbers these boys should have. But I think this is a really good second signing of our window. And for 40 million, I genuinely think it is a bit of a steal. With that signing as well, it still leaves us with 130 million. So, I mean, we've still got plenty of budget to go. And one of my biggest issues right now is I'm still yet to find who I want for left back, but this Arsenal game is upon us. Wow, they've signed Szoboszlai. That is, I did not see that coming. That makes them even better. They won the league for their second time in a row last year. And this team is looking good. Kunde. I mean, I don't know who this sweet guy is, but who cares? They probably don't care about the community shield, to be honest with you. But this is our 11. We need to focus on it because this is pretty much the strongest 11. The fact that Josh is still injured and Cody Drama is playing left back today. So that is not ideal. Gray and Skip in the center. Reuter's 85. Trezor is now 85. Like this is, if this is our 11 for the majority of the season, this is really good. It's just not a guarantee, though, that we're going to be able to keep this team fit and this team playing at all times. With the extra workload this year of the added games, it's going to make it even harder. And I still remember that we finished 9th in the league. It's not like we won it. We had to win the FA Cup to get our European football. So I am still very aware of that. I mean, I got no doubt that this 11 is good enough to win stuff. Like, we will win stuff if this 11 can be on the pitch most of the time. Maybe minus Cody Drama. Although Cody Drama had a good season. Now, when we played Arsenal last time, we dominated and then they just had one breakthrough. That could be the same, but not what's been given here. That is not a penalty. This referee has had a drink. He's been drinking at the players' bar before the game. What's he given here? This is not a foul. He wins the ball clearly. This is ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. This is insane. I was literally just about to praise the tackle as well, right? So let's just see what he does wrong here. He sees that the ball's available and he gets the ball. He gets the ball quite clearly and the ref goes, that's a foul. That's a foul. How? Arsenal keep winning the league then. There's like a payroll and the ref is just on it. Although, I thought we were going the right way. The ref is just, he's obviously on this payroll and they're just giving him all that cash. Saka makes it 1-0 to a penalty they don't deserve. And now I'm just angry. I hope the boys go out there and they play angry. No, I didn't even think about this either, man. That's Pacheco's debut. First time playing for an English side, so his debut being seen by all these English fans. And that happens to him. I feel so sorry for him. Ball's like straight into Odegaard. Pacheco again. Doing a good job again this time. Oh my God, Odegaard, you can't get the ball off him. That man, it stays to his feet. I don't know what rating he is at this point. Maybe he's like a 90. But he was impossible to get the ball off. I've had this feeling before of starting really well against Arsenal too. And then, I mean, we've been robbed a little bit more in this one, but we weren't robbed there. That was just a really good goal. I'm not just expecting us to be better than teams like Arsenal this season, though. Like, that's not a reality that you can live in. Like, we are miles off that, yeah. Going to be a good ball into Pirro. It is. Pirro, maybe just before the half. That would have been massive. Really big moment from there. I really would have liked him to just get off the mark, get a goal, start his season the right way. I mean, there's still plenty of time for that to happen in the second half, but that's just a really disappointing way to end the half. I'm putting my money on Arsenal to win the league again this season, man. Their team is insane. Well, Arsenal made a sub really early on here, and it is to bring on Laporte for Jorginho. So that's just making me think that they're holding on here. They are holding on. Maybe we should make some subs as well. I don't really care about this competition that much. We're going to bring on Illing Jr. I'm going to bring on Van Duven. Give him an opportunity. I think that's it for now. But yeah, look, I would have loved to have won this game, but do I care about it that much? No, not really. I care about building this team to be good enough for the rest of the season, and especially to have Europe. Now, Illing Jr.'s first ball forward is to nobody. Oh, Odegaard. Played it out wide. Found Saka. Saka. Yeah, well in. Odegaard. You know, you just don't win the ball off of him. You just don't. This is a really good free kick position. He just dribbles you to sleep. I'm telling you now, lads. I don't think I'm worried about that one. I'm more worried about that, and I was right to be worried about it. I was very right to be worried about it. And they're going to keep it. They're going to keep it. And Odegaard's going to put it wide. Oh, my God. Won't be playing too many of the games from Arsenal this year. I think we'll be simming them a lot. Odegaard again. Through to Gabby Jesus. What a save. Nothing really happened for us. Nothing really gone for us this second half. They've made subs. And to be honest with you, they've increasingly got better. I feel a bit sorry for Cody Drama too. He has been absolutely run ragged today. He's been dominated from word go. But I do feel for him. Illing Jr. now. He's got the pace. Oh my God, Illing Jr.'s got the pace. This is lovely to see. Van Duven. Oh, I waited too long. I should have played it just a second earlier. That's so frustrating. We got a bit lucky here, Gelhardt. He's injured, by the way. Wants to play it in. Van Duven will control it. That was nice. Illing Jr. for his first opportunity. He's going to land to Gelhardt. Oh, it's not. Trezor. Through to Van Duven. I'll take a consolation. I'll take a consolation for Van Duven. I will take a consolation. Look, we just want to see what this kid can do. And that is a beautiful finish. I feel sorry for Trezor. The gas tank is zero. He's had to defend so much today. He's covering Cody Drama often. He's not really been involved in the game. But that's a lovely pass. It's a good run from Van Duven, who's been fairly bright since coming on. And a nice finish. We could take something away from this match. And that makes me feel good. But it did feel like after the second goal went in for Arsenal, that was just a foregone conclusion that this game was going to finish that way. They kind of went into cruise control. They dominated the game in the second half. I'm going to have a quick look at their squad just to see, like, how far off we are from them. But, yeah, they thoroughly deserve it. And that man Odegaard deserves to lift the trophy because he balled out in this match. I mean, just look at that. 60% possession for Arsenal. So, foregone conclusion, I told you. And then when I get to look at the ratings, I can really see, like, why they are so good. 88, 84, 90 for Saka now. Pedro comes on as an 85. That's our highest rated player. We have two 85s at the club, and that's Jorginho and Trezor. They bring one off the bench for someone who's 87. We got 90. I mean, we're at a stage now where you can see how much I'm going to have to improve the squad. And this is what genuinely happens in career mode. Their bench is actually good. We didn't see Somerville today, who's 86 now. But this is something you have to look out for in career mode. And I kind of like it, I kind of don't. But you're going to see now that players have such an abundance of 85 and up players. When you first start the game, teams don't have that. Teams don't have as many of those players. Now we've hit a stage where they are. And 85 now isn't an extremely good player. It's a good player, but he's not going to be one of the best players in a club that is in the top 4, the top 6 even. And that's where we're at. So our aim now of player overall that we were getting, it needs to be higher. We need to bring in better quality. We are definitely going to be left behind in the league. Can we explain Arsenal, who, granted, they're league winners 2 times in a row. So we look at their squad, that's a league winners squad. But when we look at ours, 85, 85, 85. So they're the best players at our club, and they're extremely good. But it does start to drop off quite quickly. We need to improve that now. Luckily for us, after that Arsenal game as well, the injury to Joe Gelhardt is only going to be 5 days. So we've seen a few bruised shoulders now. We actually haven't had a major injury apart from Josh's for quite a long time. Fingers crossed. After that showing from Van Duven as well, you can guarantee I'm just rejecting anything that comes my way for him until it's a huge bit. And even then, I might still reject it. At his age, he's got plenty of time yet. Well, in my struggling hunt for left back, which has been traumatic for me after trying to sign Fran Garcia and then Parassi, I thought that's it, we've got him, we've got our superstar left back. I did end up scouting a Stupinian and Gutierrez, but I'm just not sure that they make sense worthwhile for the other teams for us to be able to sign these players, because both Napoli and RB Leipzig are in the Champions League. So that's a problem. But what isn't a problem is the fact that Bournemouth seem to have signed some left backs, and I can now actually go in for Fran Garcia. The initial target. It's happening, boys. The initial target might be coming to the club, and this will probably be the last transfer maybe of this window, and then we'll leave the rest for the second part of the window. But I need this deal to get done. Weaken somebody else in the league, which for me is big. I'm going to go in at 42 million because, I mean, he's a really good player. And I think 42 million is good. Weakening Bournemouth isn't bad for me. I'm just going to accept all of that. I really don't want this deal to fall apart. 27, 84 overall. Massive improvement. We get him in for the first game of the season as well, which to me is just huge. We need it. And I love the story of how many circles we've run around in order to get to the point of getting this deal done for Fran Garcia. And there we go. It is now official. Our new number 2, Fran Garcia, is a Leeds United underrated player. And I believe that's a real player face as well, which is a nice addition. Boy, am I happy that we get this one done. 43.5, so it still leaves us like 80 million in the bank. So, you know, there's still the room that we need to get deals done. We're going to get an A for this. I still think we need another winger, maybe another central midfielder, maybe another centre-back. I don't know yet, but the work on improving this team is going well so far, in my opinion. Because when you look at who we brought in so far, it's talent this year. We're going for a class above this year. Now that we're in Europe, we're going for another level. And we bring in Pacho, we bring in Ellen Jr. These two are two great players, and it's still young, man. Fran Garcia is a little bit more experienced, but it's still pretty young. I really like the deals we've done so far. We're spending some money, right? We're over 100 million at this point, I think. Royce to kick off the season, though. They're back in the Premier League, and they've gone on. Like, this is a freshly promoted team. They have Brian Brobby, who is 86, because I've scouted him. Gibbs White, who's like 83, 84. Like, this is a good squad, and they're freshly promoted. Now, this will be our 11 for the opening day at Ellen Road. There is no Fran Garcia. He's just knackered. He must have just played for Bournemouth or something. I don't know how it's worked out for me. He might have played for them on, like, I don't know, on the Saturday, and we're playing on the Sunday. Luckily for me, Josh is back, so he will be in the starting 11. This, again, is pretty much our strongest starting 11. Let's see if we can get a win to kick off the season. There literally is no better feeling than this either. You know what I mean? Like the start of a new season. It feels good. Smell of the freshly cut grass. The wonderment of what your team will do this season. Well, I'm hoping our team finishes better in the league this year, and I think that's going to require a lot of strength in depth considering the sheer amount of extra games we potentially have this season. But I am in the belief that we can do it. This is a very busy transfer period for us, but I think we're going to nail it. Found Josh. Josh then. Oh, that's a great block. I genuinely thought I'd got a perfect ball into Pirro. Just wasn't to be. Sometimes they're just not right. Not a great first half, but I mean, we're dominating possession. Oh, Brian Bobby is in. What can we do? I just need bodies over. Get to that against Hudson-Odoi. Van Eyck doing really well here against Hudson-Odoi and Brian Brobby, and then gets away with it. It's been a defensive battle, I guess, so far. You could say that. It's been a terrible game of football in terms of chances. Can't say the fans at this stage will have been over the moon with that first half. I hope this one wasn't on TV if it was on a Sunday, because it's not been a great game of football there on the opening day. Has he got that over the top? Can Jorginho get to that? He does. Cuts it inside. Oh, my God. That's a lovely touch. Jorginho Ruta. Oh, nearly a massive goal to start his season off. But that is the first shot of the day. 52 minutes in. That's why I'm saying the fans won't be happy about this one. Here comes Hudson-Odoi. Pascal gets to it. Does anyone get to... What was that animation? What was that animation? If they'd have scored there, that would have been gifted to them. Animation was so weird. Now, I don't want to make any subs yet. We've just had our best chance of the game. That's the best chance for Nottingham Forest. No subs, though. No subs at this point. We just need to kind of get our focus again now. Yep, found Josh. Josh cut it inside. Oh, it was poor. Oh, though. Pirro got that to Trezor. Trezor then waited. Put it across to Fatawu. I need help. I needed a lot more help than that. Although Fatu's managed to remain on the football, he's actually done really well. Pirro's making that run on the inside. Pirro will take a corner. We've not really had much all game, so I will take a corner. This is the kind of game you look at if we want to be where we want to be at the end of the season. You do kind of look at this one and go, you need to win that. Oh, we might have a chance to win it here, but I will make some subs fair. And it'll be two quite abrasive subs because I'm bringing off Trezor, I'm bringing off Pirro, and I'm bringing on Ilin Jr. and Ekatike. Hopefully, there's a bit of breath of fresh air there. They can do something for me, but this is going to be a really hard one to score, to be honest with you. I'm not sure I can score this one, but I'm going to give it a decent amount of power, and he's just going to hit the wall. Always just hits the wall. Got a man down. Is that Ilin Jr.? He's been on the pitch all of 4 seconds. Ilin Jr. is down. This is massive. Langer. What's that one across? There's a good ball across. Danilo heads it. Well saved by Melier. Ilin Jr. has got back up, but how bad the injury is, I don't know. Right now, I don't really have a left winger on the bench who I can bring on. So, I'm just hoping that he stays good. Oh, he wants that in. He's got it in. Gelhardt loves to come on and score. Oh, my God. What a save from their keeper. He's had a really good game when we've had chances. That might be a good ball in towards Ekatike. Oh, he's put it wide of the post. And that should be the last chance of the game. And if we're being honest, against a freshly promoted side, even though I know their squad's half decent, we have to win those games. It just didn't come to life until the last kind of 30 minutes of the game. But what's this injury going to be? It's going to be 4 weeks, man. We only have 2 wingers now. At this current state in time, we have 2 wingers. And that is such terrible news. It's really going to force my hand to sign somebody else out wide. Now, I did already want one more signing as a winger. It might be a superstar, who knows? But we We need to bring in someone who's going to be great squad depth, and he's young and can continue to improve. And that player is going to be Wilson Odobert. He looks really, really good. Can play left mid, right mid at 21. He's a very good player. He's going to be more of a project, and hopefully we'll take backup. Not going to be a super expensive deal either. I'm going to try and get him for 15, and they're going to accept 15. So yeah, that's the kind of deal that we wanted to make here. This is more of a covering player. This is someone who could be a starter in the future, but he's really needed right now because I have no one. I still might actually need to sign another winger. He takes sporadic rotation. I'm fine. I'm absolutely fine with that. He's got a player face as well. This is great. So after minimal negotiation on the wages, Odobert is a Leeds United player. And this kid could easily have a bright future. He's only 21. That gives me just a little bit more reassurance now out wide because I was really starting to panic. And that means we can go into this game at Craven Cottage against Fulham with this team. Fran Garcia is going to be starting for the first time, and Odobert is on the bench. Fulham do have Emile Smith-Rowe, which is an interesting one. And someone actually said recently, should I do Fulham? And, or would I ever do Fulham? And yeah, I'm kind of hoping to do several different Premier League teams in the long run. They're just, you know, I'll just never do Manchester United. With that being my rival team of my hometown team. Go on, Pirro! Oh, Bassey with a good header. I could just never bring myself to do that. Oliver Skip wins that. Pirro. That's a good ball over. Fatu knocks it back down. Jorginho Ruta. Oh, thought he'd scored. Lively start for Leeds. We've already had a shot. It took us a long time to have one of these in the last game. Pirro can get up for them, but they've got too many strong headers in this team. That one outside to Fatu. Wasn't a great ball, but we're going to end up with it with Van Eywick, who's going to go for the long ball over to Trezor. Tell you what, if we end up with another winger injury, that's our season. But look at that from Fran Garcia. Lovely. Here come Fulham. Their first attack of the game. It's not a bad ball in actually to Adama, but that's well wide. Yes. I know he wants that inside. I knew he wanted it inside, and he scores, man. You have to get to him. Pascal just stood still. All the pressure coming from us as well, but Smith-Rowe will score the first goal. Try and work our way back into it. We haven't seemed our potent selves so far the start of this season. Smith-Rowe. Don't let him put it in. Oh, Fran Garcia. Lovely. Fran Garcia has kind of kept me in it. It's been really weird. Vinicius. Oh, great. Pacheco. That's going to be the halftime whistle. We had a really good start to this game, but then they scored. And it's been downhill from there. Could be a really poor start to the season for Leeds. Has there been too much change with the squad? Did we rely on Willy Gnonto that much? I don't know, but our main guys are not starting the season well. I'm not seeing the same start from Trezor. I'm not seeing the same start from Pirro. Ruta's not really been involved much at all. The only thing I would say is defensively, I feel like we have been a bit better. Good ball in then for Pirro. It might be Pirro. Oh my God, how does Bissett get to that? Pirro, just put your head on it. Put yourself on the line a little bit here. How do we not get to that? That was a beautiful ball in. Ball actually hasn't gone out really in the second half. I would really like to make a sub or two. And I am stuck right now. Without subs, I don't see us doing anything. We just don't have the stamina. 1 minute added on. And that's because nothing has happened in this second half. And we didn't even get to make a sub. We lose 1-0. We start our season with a draw against Nottingham Forest and a loss to Fulham. Two sides that we have to be beaten. We need to take a serious look at this team because that performance was horrendous. The free-flowing football, the runs that we were making beforehand, they're not there right now. They're just not there. The only plus side of that one was Fran Garcia defended fantastically and Williams come in and defended pretty well also. But our attack, the thing that was so potent last year, non-existent, performing terribly. We have more business to do in the next episode, obviously. There's so much more for us to do as we try and build this team for European football. Thank you very much for watching, lads. I appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you very much for the support. Smash the like button. New to the channel, just found us. Hit subscribe. That's it for me. I need to go sit down. I need to go do some thinking on what we're going to do in order to get this team in shape and ready to try and finish in the top 4 and do well in European football.